Good morning, everyone. We'll just give it a second or two to have our attendees jump on in. Good morning. As I said, we're just giving it a couple of seconds to allow our mentee, our attendees to jump on board. Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of lands and waters in which we meet today, and I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I personally would like to acknowledge the Turrbal people, who are the traditional custodians of the land on which I grew up, which is Boondall on Brisbane North Side. So welcome, everybody. I'm excited to facilitate today's session on chatbots for business, and we're lucky enough to have three of our wonderful mentors here to carry us through the session. So first we'll have Amber, who will tell us what chatbots actually are and give us a bit of an overview of the different types of chatbots. Next we'll hear from Mark, who will discuss the legalities around chatbots, as well as explore the pitfalls and the dangers. And then Angie will wrap us up with the purposes and the uses for chatbots. We have an opportunity for questions at the end of the session. So as you have your questions, please pop them in the Q&A function and we'll work towards answering them at the end of the session. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Amber. Thank you so much, Amber.
Thanks, Caitlin. Hi, everyone. My name's Amber. I'm the CEO of a digital marketing agency here in Brisbane, and we specialise in assisting small to medium businesses with online marketing. I've been given the opportunity to talk to you guys today about chatbots, specifically what they are and the different types there are. I always love running sessions on this because it's a forever changing industry. So what I tell you today is more than likely different to the last time I ran this session if you attended that one as well. So to put it simply, in my point of view, chatbots are computer programs that simulate human conversation. They can be used in a variety of settings, including customer service, education, entertainment, among others, and they're often used to provide information or answer questions or complete tasks for you as a user. Now, chatbots can be either simple or more complex. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but a simple chatbot might only be able to answer a few basic questions, while more complex ones might be able to carry on a conversation that is indistinguishable from a conversation with a human being. They're powered by a variety of technologies for those that are interested, including natural language processing, machine learning, and then artificial intelligence, which is becoming a little bit more of a pop word that we're hearing a lot more about. So what this means, natural language processing allows that chatbot to understand the meaning of the text. Machine learning powered bots allows them to learn and improve over time. And then artificial intelligence powered ones allow them to perform more complex tasks, such as generating creative text formats or translating languages. Now, it's important to note there is a bit of an overlap between those categories. For example, many AI bots will use natural language processing and machine learning combined as well. So when you're choosing an off-the-shelf chatbot for your business, it's important to consider your specific needs and also your budget. So there's lots of free ones out there, but there are also other ones that do come with a monthly fee. Some are designed for customer service, and there are others that are designed for sales or marketing. The other important thing to consider are the features that are important to you, such as live chat, email marketing, or CRM integration. Popular examples, I would say, for chatbots, you've got Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, Apple Siri. If you bank with Commonwealth Bank, they've actually named their chatbot Seba, and that was one they developed themselves. But there are off-the-shelf chatbots that you can pop onto your website depending on the website's platform. So you've got options such as ManyChat and ChatFuel. Those two are free. And then you've got Tidio and Intercom, and they're paid options as they provide more integration options with your customer relationship management system, your CRM. Now, chatbots are becoming increasingly popular because they offer a number of benefits for both a business and also for a consumer. So from a business standpoint, chatbots can help to reduce costs, improve customer service, and then also automate tasks. Whereas from consumers' point of view, your chatbot can provide a convenient and efficient way to get information and to also complete tasks. So there's two main types of the chatbots, rule-based chatbots and AI-powered ones. So rule-based ones are programmed with a set of rules that they follow to respond to the user input, and they're typically simple and easy to develop, but can be limited in their capabilities. So for an example, a rule-based chatbot might not be able to answer questions that you did not explicitly program into it. Whereas your AI ones use artificial intelligence to understand and then respond to what the user puts in, such as a question. They're a little bit more complex to develop than rule-based ones, but they are also more capable. In addition to those two main types, there's also a number of hybrid ones that combine elements of both the rule-based and the AI ones. So if I was to give examples of different types of chatbots that are available today, they could include your customer service chatbots, and they're used by businesses to provide customer support, can answer customer questions, resolve issues, provide guidance. I would say Intercom is currently the most used customer service chatbot in the world. Then you've got your sales chatbots. These are designed to generate and qualify leads so they can ask customers questions about their needs and interests and then provide information about products and services. In my opinion, and again, my opinion, this is going to change all the time, Drift is currently the most popular one globally because I think that's used by, they're saying about 50,000 businesses, including Salesforce, HubSpot, and Marketo. The next type is marketing chatbots that are used by companies to promote products and services. They can also offer discounts and collect your customers' feedback. HubSpot's chatbot builder is a free option and the most popular one on the market today. You've also got informational chatbots. These are used to provide information to users and they can answer questions about a variety of topics such as news, weather, sports. Google Assistant, I would say, is the popular one there. And then you've got Alexa and Siri. They can be informational and answer question type chatbots. Educational chatbots, if anyone's interested. Duolingo has courses in over 100 languages and 500 million active users, and they can provide interactive lessons, quizzes, and other learning activities. A final chatbot I'll talk about is Replica. It's popular because it's free, but it's more of an entertainment chatbot, so used to entertain your end users with games, telling stories, and providing companionship as such. So I've listed off a variety of different ones here. Some of those are paid and some of them are free. I think for a business owner, going back and thinking, what is it that I need this to do? Will help you to define which one it is. Then you look at, what is my budget? Do I have it in my budget this year? Or is it something that's going to be in my next year's budget? If it's in next year's budget, that's fine. You can utilize the free ones now so you can better learn how you're going to use them and what benefits it's going to have for you. Surprisingly, the very first chatbot was made in 1966, if you can believe that. So it's crazy to think that they've been around this long. They're quickly becoming a lot more sophisticated and capable. So anything that we discuss today is subject to change over the next few months. So obviously research on your own accord for what you need is probably going to be the best solution. I'm going to hand over to Mark, who's going to run you guys through the dangers, pitfalls, and legal aspects to consider when you're looking at chatbots for your business.
Thanks, Amber.
Fantastic. Thanks, Amber. Yeah, well, as Amber said, just a brief little recap there. Always consider the purpose and the budget for your chatbot before you're going out there. I've got a few slides which I'll share with you because it's from a bit more of a legal perspective. So what you have is there are a number of other considerations that you need to bring into play as well. And the reality there is that with these chatbots, you also need to have a look at what the terms and conditions are for a start. So, I mean, as Amber was saying, the chatbot will create that content, and usually there's a user query that prompts it. And as she said, it's machine learning, or there's AI and everything else now. From a legal perspective, AI covers all chatbots, whether they're machine learning or anything else. They're just subsets of actual artificial intelligence. And so it goes from simple right through to complex. And so what you have to understand, though, is at this stage, artificial intelligence doesn't understand what gets put in there. What it does is it assesses it, attributes logical values to it, and uses algorithms to then generate probability scores for the words that will come out afterwards. And that's why with chatbots, just as with complex AI, a lot of the training is what you need to actually make sure is done correctly, because chatbots can be abused if they're learning chatbots, because if the wrong questions and the wrong answers are fed back in and reinforced into that AI system, it's going to then generate spurious results afterwards. And as we know, these chatbots generally in business will answer questions, but they can also be used to create images, videos, or text. And that's where you see ChatGPT. That's like an advanced chatbot as such, because you're actually asking it streams of questions, and then it is analyzing that, converting it into logarithms and algorithms and finding probability for your answers. And then it comes out and says, this is the answer. Now, from a real legal perspective, there are four main things that you need to consider when you're looking into AI or chatbots. One is privacy considerations. The second is the potential for data breach with that platform. Thirdly, copyright. And fourthly, terms and conditions of a program or a platform. Now, with respect to that, I would always encourage you to, whenever you go about using a chatbot in your business, or any AI, if you want to go advance onto that, you need to actually go and look at the terms and conditions. That is the first place you should be starting. You need to be aware, and this is crucial for the free ones as well. While it may be good to get a free chatbot, the bottom line is that chatbot owner may actually own anything that gets put in there, and may be able to then control what information goes into that chatbot, what you train it, what the answers are. And if you go and use that, well, then your business can be giving someone else the keys to access your internal systems through that chatbot. And so you really need to read those terms and conditions, because as we all know, nothing is truly free. There's always a price to pay, so so when I say use a chatbot and be free to use the free ones, make sure you've read them and make sure that aligns with what you want to do with your business. Because even if you're using a free chatbot, and most businesses on here will be small businesses that don't have to have a privacy policy. Privacy policies have to come in once you start doing a turnover of 3 million a year, or you start trading in data or one of these other advanced sections under the privacy policies. Now, if you use a chatbot, that automatically lets that chatbot owner take the data that's inputted into there and the answers. You're in essence giving data to a third party, and so therefore you will then be bound by the Australian privacy principles, and you'll have to have a privacy policy put into place, and a breach of that can be up to $60,000 per occurrence. So if you have 10 people using the chatbot, that's $600,000 that you're potentially liable for, and you can understand how that quickly grows with the more users of that chatbot. So when I say look at this stuff, you want to know who is the owner of the chatbot and who is the owner of the inputs and outputs. Is it the person who enters the data? Is it the entity that owns the AI or the chatbot, such as HubSpot, which Amber mentioned earlier? Is it the AI itself? When it's increasingly learning, in Australia, I can tell you right now, that's a no, but we never know. There might be legislation passed in the future that lets AI own its own stuff. Is it the individual that developed the AI code and program? Now, these things are complex questions, and I do have a 50-minute seminar I've done which delves right into a lot of these things, and I'll provide the link later on in this session. But I want to keep it high level here. So these are sort of the questions you should be asking, to determine who is going to own the chatbot inputs and outputs, and whether you can use them outside of that chatbot. Then the other things which are really practical now, I'm going to turn to giving you practical solutions. So if you are going to use a chatbot or AI, which is, for me, one and the same thing, and it's going to be generating answers, which all chatbots do, it's prudent to do the following things. Number one, you want to make sure there's a written agreement between your business and the chatbot provider. Now, if you're getting a free chatbot or a free AI system program, you're not going to be able to change that. Doesn't mean you shouldn't read the agreement. You should still read it. And if you don't understand it, get legal advice on it, because you need to know what your rights and obligations are in using that program, and what rights and obligations will be on your clients and customers when they use that program. Secondly, if you have it created for yourself, so if you get a customized chatbot or customized AI program, you want to try and get all the copyright in that assigned to your business, so that it can then be an asset of your business. And so when you go into that business and sell it on, you'll own that chatbot, that AI program should ideally own all the inputs and outputs that come through, and you can make sure that it's trained properly by having that contract and having that AI assigned to you. Thirdly, you want to make sure that you file any IP application in relation to anything that comes out of that AI program or that chatbot that you might use. For example, if it's a picture AI or an image generator, you may actually go, oh, you know what? We want to change that image around and use that in our business. You want to make sure that you get that protected as well, and that you establish that first step, because it's easier to say I own it and find out that you don't own it than say you don't own it and have to fight then to own it. So this is about giving your business the strongest initial position to start off with. Then the last one, as you can see here, what can be done to protect all of that in your own business now? Well, my number one tip is to identify and categorize that AI and the chatbot. So, you know, look at what you're going to use it for, look at the terms and conditions, be familiar with the various softwares out there. As Amber was saying, there's many of them. You need to evaluate them and weigh up whether they're good for your business. And that's not necessarily free or expensive, but it's more so about saying, well, what's this do for my business? Does it do everything I need to do? Or does it expose me to bad effects? Identify AI tools that are actually already used by your business. You're probably already using some tools in this space as well, and that you just haven't thought that they're chatbots or AI or anything like that. So I think any system that you're currently using that sort of simplifies or makes the process more efficient or responds to something automatically, have a good think and go, well, hold on, am I already using AI, and should I be aware of what actually the terms and conditions are around this? Consider whether there's any bias. So you don't want to start using a chatbot and then it start giving really bad answers out there to the general public, because then you will be tarnished and your reputation will be soured. So that's another big thing. And that's why Google had to pull one of their first chatbots called Bard, and they had to re-engineer it because it was giving racial and non-DEI answers when inputs were put in there. And there are third parties that just love wrecking chatbots and AI programs so that they can just see how quickly they can get it to, you know, put out a racist or some sort of other, you know, sexist answer or something along those lines and have a good laugh about it. Then map out your data collecting systems if you're going to be using the outputs. If you're not, well, then it makes it a bit easier on you, you know, but just make sure you know what you're going to use that chatbot for and how you're going to use it in the end. I've skipped ahead a bit, so I'll go through a few of these. We'll catch back up. Then I would say the last one there is, as I said earlier, ensure that there's all those agreements in place, because if you have an agreement that looks after who owns what part of the chatbot or the AI or the inputs or the outputs, and it sets out your exact rights as to how you can use it and how your clients and customers can use it, you're going to be in a much better position, and you won't find yourself getting tapped on the shoulder with some nasty data breach or a letter from the privacy commissioner saying, well, you've given access to everyone's private information and now we're going to fine you. So I know that's a little bit heavy and sometimes it's a danger Will Robinson moment, but we'll hand over to Angie now, who will be able to give you a bit more, I guess, fun and joyous stuff that you can actually use, and you just keep the stuff and the warnings I've put in your mind, keep them in there, because you should know about them when you're doing these great things that Amber and Angie can let you know about. Thanks, everyone.
Angie.
Oh, that was amazing. Yes, so chatbots are very, very serious. There's a lot of things to think about, but what I'm going to be talking about today is all of the fun things you can actually do. So before I go into everything, I thought I would introduce myself, because why should I be talking to you about this? Hi, my name is Angie, and I'm really thrilled to be here chatting with Amber and Mark as well about this conversation. It's something that all three of us work with basically on the daily, and we are all business owners just like you guys. You know, we understand the daily challenges and joys of running businesses, and I've been lucky to have years and years of hands-on experience in the digital landscape and have been able to watch everything evolve throughout the years. So I'm really looking forward to helping you learn a little bit more about chatbots, how you can use them, and how they can make an actual difference in your business. A little bit more about me. Again, why am I chatting about chatbots with you today? I'm a digital marketer and I'm an expert in business growth in general. So what I do there is I help other business owners stay at the forefront of their industry while implementing innovative strategies and consistently delivering results by helping you optimize your online presence, crafting effective marketing strategies, and actually helping you create sustainable growth that is going to help you achieve your professional but also personal goals, because the whole reason you became a business owner is because you wanted to create a certain type of life for yourself. So as you've heard, chatbots are becoming increasingly essential in today's digital landscape. It is so important. So what I'm going to talk to you about now that you've had an overview of what they are, the legal ramifications of them, I'm going to talk to you now about all the different applications you can use. I love that Amber has already spoken about a couple, specifically HubSpot. If you guys haven't looked into it, it is amazing option to learn more about digital marketing in general, how you can use AI and actual chatbots, because they have some really great free resources as well. So you don't have to pay for it, but it's all there, and they have really great webinars to help you dive in a little bit more about this conversation, since today we're doing an overall view of it. So some of the very aspects that you can include your chatbot into actually the operations of your business includes probably one of the most readily known one, which is customer service and support. Then Amber mentioned lead generation and sales, which is probably one of my personal favorite ways that you can use chatbots. Then you can create really amazing personalized marketing, appointment scheduling and reservations, which is something that a lot of people actually don't think about, but it helps you save so much time and can create a really streamlined way of running your business automatically and just allowing you to have more time to yourself. Another way that's really great to use chatbots is their actual back-end way of using them, which helps you do data collection and feedback. Again, like what Mark said, you need to look into things when you are using chatbots, because there is always data collection that happens there, and they can be really amazing, and they can really help you refine things to make the most of your business. So always do look into that and actually learn how you can utilize that for the better of your community, because there are some amazing ways, as scary as it might sound. There's also different employee productivity and support chatbots that are available, and it's something that I actually really, really love as well. Having employees right now is really hard. Everything since COVID, the employee whole landscape has changed. So being able to really support your employees and refine and optimize the productivity that are coming out of them while making sure that they're actually enjoying what they do is really important. And chatbots can be really beneficial for that. As a digital marketer and someone who helps grow businesses online, I do love e-commerce and order processing chatbots. They, again, help you save so much time and actually can give such a higher level of support to your community. And then finally, there's also event promotion and support. So everything that basically normal businesses can have, you can do for specific events, such as what we're doing today. Now, with everything that's been said today, yes, everyone understands now that chatbots are powerful tools to help you engage with your audience. They help guide potential consumers through your sales funnels. They can answer your FAQs and also provide more personalized recommendations based on the user behavior. Ultimately, what this does is helps to boost your conversion rates, which is really ultimately what business growth is all about. So there's so many different ways you can actually utilize these tools to ultimately help grow your business. And if you're a business owner such as myself, I created both of my businesses to specifically help the market that I work within. So the whole point of my business is to help others. So the fact that chatbots are actually readily available in all these different aspects can help you just ultimately serve your community better. The fact that it also saves you time is an added bonus. Another thing that chatbots are really amazing at like I said a little bit earlier, is productivity and efficiency within your business. As a business growth manager who specializes on focusing how you can make your business, its activities, and its overall growth to work for your personal life and achieving your personal goals, this is why I love chatbots the most, because they can help you automate tasks that have to be done. They have to be done. Appointment setting has to be done. Appointment scheduling has to be done. Order processing has to be done. Data collection and review has to be done. But you can help do that through the power of chatbots, which will then allow you to focus on more strategic activities and actually doing what you love and doing why you created the business in the first place. My favorite phrase that I always like to say to clients is, when you're running a business, it's all about working smarter and not harder. Remember that. Always remember that. Now, all of this might sound well and good, and you might be thinking, this is all really, really great information. It's nice for us to be telling you all of this about chatbots. But one of the questions that a lot of my clients have, and they're always afraid to ask, is where do I actually start? How do I actually start utilizing chatbots in my business? Amber told you a whole heap of great tools, but how do you actually start that journey? When you start working with chatbots, it's so important that you understand your business needs. You need to be reviewing consistently, you should be doing this anyways, of what your consumer pain points are, how your business supports your consumers by eliminating those pain points. And then what you need to do is actually break down and have a review of the available chatbots that you can actually utilize and address how those chatbots can actually help you solve those issues, and what actual aspects of the chatbots you can basically replace with your own work to ensure you can be serving your consumers better. It's all about starting to have a clear understanding of what your objectives are, who your target audience is, what their preferences are as well, so that you can better optimize your chatbot's performance and however you're using it based on the feedback and the data analysis that comes through with chatbots. Another thing that's really great with chatbots that actually none of us have mentioned, and I just realized that, is that most chatbots have actual data analysis and actual documentation that you can go through and review to see what your consumer sales journey is actually like. What actual stats do you have for how people are using the chatbots, how people are actually implementing them, and how you can actually improve your overall performance. One of my favorite things to do is actually go in and do the question and answer FAQ side of the chatbots and actually go in and see what questions are continually asked on your website. What do you need to add to your website? What questions are you not answering in your website copy? What questions are you not answering in your marketing? It's a really great way of using chatbots, again, to serve your consumer and also help you save time. Speaking about time though, enhancing your consumer experience is great, but the whole thing that chatbots are really amazing at doing is streamlining your operations. And it might seem how chatbots and AI in general is just a daunting task. It's one of those big words that everyone's throwing around right now, and you all feel like it's so important, which it is, but it doesn't need to be scary. You can actually break down the process of implementing chatbots into your business by just allowing yourself to have that initial time and effort to review what's best for you, best for your consumers, and best for your business, while also doing exactly what Mark said, is actually doing the investigations behind them to make sure they're going to suit your business and your consumers' needs. Once you actually have them implemented, though, they actually require really minimal maintenance. So the time that you spend, yeah, Mark, yes. Once you actually get it going, it's so little maintenance. And the time that you spend on doing these routine tasks, doing these routine question and answers, and just doing all these things that are so easy. You can do them when you are exhausted. Anything you can do when you're basically a brain dead zombie business owner, a chatbot can basically do. So that's a really great way of kind of figuring out what you can hand over to chatbots. The time that you'll save doing these routine tasks, you can then reinvest into growing your business, again, doing what you love, and most importantly, having a bit of a life, because when you become a business owner, there's so much you need to do, and you kind of forget enjoying the process along the way. Chatbots will take this time for you and allow you to do that again. Also, I do just want to remind everyone, when talking about implementation of AI and actually up-leveling your business for growth with chatbots or anything in general, you have to remember we are thinking and discussing the concept of long-term benefits for your business. So you have to remember how impactful this implementation, no matter how scary it might seem at the very beginning, it's going to help your future self and the future of your business and its consumers. So it might be a little bit of a trial and error of checking out different chatbots, seeing which ones suit you more, seeing which ones you actually find comfortable using. I always recommend clients to go onto YouTube and actually watch chatbots in use and see the back end of how to use them. Pretty much every single chatbot software that's out there have examples, so you can actually go in and see if it's actually going to be suitable. I think it's the best way of actually doing a simple trial and error without having to do a free subscription to all of the chatbots out there to see what works for you. It helps you save a little bit of time, but it's so important to actually do that research. Once you do, though, your future self is going to thank you, because it will save you so much time in everything else that you do. Now, one thing I want to discuss before I finish up with this section today and hand it back over to Caitlin is something that I know a lot of business owners and employees are consistently worried about, and that's the concept of, are chatbots going to replace me and my valued employees? I know it's something that we are always thinking about, we're always asking, and the answer is a resounding no. So chatbots, the whole purpose of them is to be a tool to actually enhance human interactions, not replace them. They can handle repetitive tasks, which is why I personally love them the most, because if you do something once, great. If you have to do something consistently, send the same email, answer the same question, optimize that, automate that, and take that out of your life. They are great at doing those. But they can't replace the creativity, empathy, and personal touch that you bring or your employees bring to your business. They aren't there and probably will never actually be there. They are simply allies to help you excel in your field even more. So again, before I hand it back over to Caitlin, I just want to do a bit of a summary of everything. Chatbots are incredible. They have such amazing opportunities for small businesses. Amber and I spend a lot of time doing the marketing side of things, the actual website side of things, and it is just can be life-changing. My personal favorite that you can use chatbots to the better of your life is sales and lead generation, simply because a lot of business owners are scared of doing sales and hate doing sales. So if that sounds like you, I would definitely look into checking out HubSpot and checking out different ways it can help you, support you in doing sales opportunities, because it can just make your life a bit easier. They ultimately help you streamline your automations, streamline your operations in general, and overall improve consumer engagement. You're not going to be taking away from the experience you want for your consumers by using chatbots. You're just going to be adding to it, which is really, really great. When strategically used as well, they can be valuable assets to your business. Again, most importantly, all three of us have mentioned this, it saves you time. It's going to help reduce costs, because even if you're a solopreneur, you have to think about what your time is worth. I would much prefer have a chatbot do specific tasks, especially like answer simple FAQs that everyone always asks, no matter if you have them on your website or not, and spend an hour of my time with the client. Yes, I'm a business owner. Technically, my time is whatever it is, but my time is much more valuable spending it with clients using my expertise rather than doing on and on tasks that just never finish. It helps to reduce costs and helps you ultimately create a better experience for your consumers. Number one recommendation for today, do your research and embrace this technology as a partner in the journey to actually helping you grow your business. It will contribute to you, and it will be one of those things that once you start getting used to using it, you're going to be able to implement it in so many aspects of your business. And I'm really looking forward now to answering all the questions you guys have. You've got some pretty amazing mentors here joining me, so we will hopefully be able to go over anything we haven't covered and reiterate any questions you have as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Angie. Okay, so attendees, pop your questions in the Q&A function. While we're waiting, I do have some offline questions. So Amber, can you give us a bit of an idea while we wait for those questions to come through, a bit of an idea of costs, subscriptions, payment models, that sort of thing?
It really comes down to what one you go with. Angie spoke about HubSpot being a really great one as an entry level, and I have to echo that as well, because it is quite universal across a multitude of industries, and it's probably your first one to dip your toe in and go, do I like this, do I not, what's the requirement, what's the inputs I need to put into this, etc. Mark did mention the fact though that because it's free, HubSpot will own that data that you push through it, and it's learning, and it can provide its option free to use for you because of the multitude of people utilizing its platform. It's collecting mass amounts of core information that's going to help it monetize at some point or sell on or otherwise. So just check those T's and C's. Other costs, a lot of them are subscription service, low barrier to entry products, even the ones that are the paid ones, they could be $10 a month, $30 a month. If you were to go and get someone to develop it for you, though, it's going to be obviously a greater expense. But as Angie mentioned, what is your long-term goal with this? What is the solution you're looking for this to be able to utilize? And as Mark said, it might be cheaper or more affordable to actually pay that long-term investment rather than deal with the ramifications of using a free platform and being knocked $60K a pop for your privacy breaches. We've seen it with Optus, with Medibank Private, with AHM Insurance, with all of the big financial players, and these guys have got pretty high-tech IT teams there to protect your data, and yet they got breached. So little small cats here in Australia or Queensland, we're a little bit more at risk of that. So perhaps, utilizing something that's been bespokely made for you, once you understand the value for your business, might be worthwhile of that investment. You'll do that analysis yourself though.
Great, thank you, Amber. Mark, how do we find off-the-shelf products suitable to a particular work type, i.e. small practice law? You able to help us with that one?
You just need.
I have an answer for you.
I mean, well, I know DraftWise is a good one, but I mean, there's still a lot more coming out. Like DraftWise is one our firm's actually looking into. The other thing I would say is if you are looking to really get a good AI system and you don't want to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, then you may want to just hold off probably for 6 to 12 months because the next iteration of AI is going to be AI as a platform. So at the moment, you can just grab either small chatbots, which you can train up and stuff yourself. But in the future, you'll be able to grab these, go to these platforms and say, okay, I want AI to do X, Y, and Z. And you can buy sort of modules, put them together, and then do a little bit of training, and you'll have it there, for 10 to 20 grand as compared to 200,000 plus, which is similar to what they are at the moment. But Angie might have some other small law practice AI bots.
I do. My number one thing is I'm a big believer. You don't need to be an expert in everything in your business. It's impossible to be an expert in everything. That's why there's other people out there. So one of my top recommendations is if you're looking to use chatbots and have a specific use that you really want something that's going to be off the shelf, nice and easy to use, my number one thing is ask the professionals, ask the people who do this for a living, because you can spend 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 hours on learning everything, or you can spend an hour with a professional who does this and knows all the questions and answers that you haven't even thought about. So if you're looking for something off the shelf, it would be something that, specifically if you're doing something on your website or in your marketing, or again, actually just conversing with consumers, ask people who work with them all the time. Digital marketers, web designers are the best ones to really discuss and actually really refine which ones are going to be suitable for you. No matter what platform you use, whether it's Spotify, not Spotify, that's not right, Shopify, WordPress, Joomla, anything, they all have amazing off-the-shelf integrations that you can simply, it's almost like a push of a button. But to save yourself time, ask professionals in that field on doing the integrations and what they recommend. Because if something's off the shelf, awesome. If something's off the shelf and you need a little bit of tuning up and personalization with it, don't do it yourself. Your time is much more valuable than that. Have a professional do it, and you'll be able to get so much more use out of it because they know all the ins and outs and simple tricks for you.
Thanks, Angie. Okay, Amber, in respect to API integration and the more common use of mobile apps these days, what are the key considerations for implementation? Are you able to help us with that one?
Look, I'm not a web developer myself, and I'm not an IT specialist. I do digital marketing, and there's a little bit of confusion as to how far digital marketing stretches. To the best of my ability, I'll answer the things that I would take into consideration. Number one, what is my web platform? So let's just pick an example, Shopify sites, right? There's only going to be unique ones that work on a Shopify site based on how that site works in comparison to a WordPress, Wix, Weebly, or Squarespace site. They might have ones that are more native designed for the flow of how that website works. So first consideration would be what's going to be allowed to work on my website platform. Then the second consideration would be is, do I have a CRM? Do I have a way of managing my client data internally? Am I using a tool like Salesforce, or am I using a tool like HubSpot already? And what is one that can uniquely talk to both my website and feed that data in my CRM? So I'm not trying to export data from my chatbot and then put it into my CRM or my current flow. Do I use MailChimp in my email marketing? Is there a way that this chatbot can push that data into the right funnel in my MailChimp account so that these clients are getting the right email at the right time? People that have just got FAQs versus those are like, hey, where's my order? Why has it not arrived to me? Well, you don't want them getting here's our VIP card for, joining our online subscription. They're like, where's my order? The girl, I don't care about your email subscription stuff. So it's just on what is the use for this? How does it talk to your CRM, and how does it talk to your website, and what automation can happen between those? And then obviously the cost, to do so. Is this, cost prohibitive? Is it not going to bring you the value that you're looking for? So you're just adding another, expense to your bucket list. Is there a better tool that can do it for you? That would be my ones that I would think of. Perhaps Mark or Angie have a different answer.
I actually have a really handy tip that I tell clients to do, because I work with a lot of small businesses, is every single platform and tool that you use has a section in their website, usually in your own actual logged in portal, where it has marketplace or an actual integration library. 100% on the main tool that you use. For most business owners, I would recommend it should be either your website or your CRM, because if you don't have a CRM, guys, get one today. It's so important. But look at those actual platforms and actually click in and just search the off-the-shelf integrations that are available. There are so many ones that you don't have to set up a Zapier. You can just have working seamlessly for you right away. And they always have a really good breakdown of what the integration is, how it can help, how it's actually done. And you can really work that off, the questions I mentioned before of what you actually need your chatbots to do, you can go in and kind of do a checklist of like, yes, it has this, yes, it has this. And since it's already in the ready-made off-the-shelf integration setups, it can help you save a lot of time and make sure that you're choosing the right ones for your existing platforms, if that makes sense.
Yes, thank you. Okay, well, we've got no more questions. So what I might do is just direct us to some more resources that we have. So this webinar is a part of our Ask a Mentor series. So we have a lot of online content that our wonderful mentors have put together for us in this section. So the link's on your screen. And lastly, if you'd like any sort of assistance with your business, not just around the chatbots, but by anything that any challenges that you're experiencing or any opportunities that you want to discuss, please register for a Mentoring for Growth session. The link is here, and I'll send this to you also in a follow-up email. And lastly, thank you, wonderful mentors, for your wisdom and insights today. And thank you to our attendees for taking the time out of their busy schedules to come along. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.